muscle protein synthesis. So you said that GG is required for muscle protein synthesis, and that's what, when you take statins, is the main cause of the
myopathy.
Myopathy. Yes, thank you. Can you talk a little bit more about that? How does GG help with the muscle synthesis? And I read your paper, and it kind of seemed to have like two functions. One was like making the protein, and the other was in the kind of the post-translation.
Yes. A cartoonic way would be, if this is a cell, and inside the cell, they make you look like your parent and me look like my parent. It's a nucleus. It contains all the DNA they make it. When you think of a protein is the attachment of different amino acids in the protein. And we have 20 essential amino acids. If you say that this is random, even if you have a tiny protein of only 10 amino acids, most protein will be like 20 or 40 or 200 amino acids. I'm just thinking of 10 amino acids lined together to make a very simple protein. And you have 20 essential amino acids. So therefore, to make this protein is one compared to 20, because you have 20 amino acids, to the power of 10, because you have 10 amino acids. 20 to the power of 10 is larger than the number Google, the original Google, like that. That means proteins are not randomly made, Richard and ladies and gentlemen. They are specifically made, and they are controlled by the DNA. So the DNA would use amino acids like alanine, glutamine, tyrosine, and all these amino acids is stitched on one exactly at a time. So let's say the protein is half made. You got 5 amino acids. So it begins to be like a big molecule now. So right next to the nucleus to make, because the protein is making, let's say, this long, and then it's adding one amino acid, and then the next amino acid, and then the next amino acid, as instructed by the nucleic acid to make it. As it's being made, it cannot float in space. So it's got to be held together as the protein, partially made protein, is being elongated. That hook that holds the partially synthesized protein is the unassuming molecule GG. So if you don't have that molecule GG, then you cannot finish making the protein. And so you have myopathy if you take statin, because statin zap the GG. If you get older, we don't make enough GG, then we have sarcopenia. Sarcopenia just means loss of muscle mass. I'm hoping to do a study of sarcopenia in the elderly population who are otherwise not taking a statin. I just wanted to see how it is done. We already saw this in animal study. We have done animal study on the young animal. Then I said, oh, well, Dr. Tan, you just said that older people don't make enough GG. Why did you study in young rat, a young person, they're muscular like that? We use GG to study in young people to see if they would increase their force power. And we found out that it would increase the force thrust of the power. So in the young, it increased the force power, and in the old, it maintained muscle mass loss. So now you tell me what GG does. GG is intrinsically attached to the muscle, all things muscle. In the young, increase the muscle force. In the old, prevention of loss of muscle mass. And all of it is entirely on the mevalonic acid pathway. So if you were to connect with your audience, since I send you the paper, please send them the paper. And if the audience want to Google it, I pay extra to allow people to download the paper. If you type my name, Barrie Tan, you should be able to download the paper and read. I try to make it as clear as I possibly can. Now, in that paper, it may be deceptive. I say GG, statin, and then I say COVID. Then I say, oh, why did you bring in the COVID thing? I didn't bring in the COVID thing. I'm not that smart. During the pandemic, we were looking for vaccine. In the middle of looking for vaccine and before the availability of vaccine, people were finding small molecule and what worked. Erythromycin, there are many things that people try. Among the 20, 40 different small molecule before the vaccine, the one that stood out head and shoulder above everything else is statin drug. Yes, statin. When they use statin, it fouled up, it inhibit. It doesn't completely eliminate. It inhibit the entry of the virus COVID into the host cell. So, and it's published. I wrote this paper about this. And right now, I don't know where that is. Many people in the US take vaccine, and many people resist taking vaccine. I'm not arguing for or against it. But in many developing country or country that are a third world country, they are still suffering. They don't have the availability of vaccine, so they have to find other ways to do this. So statin would be a very inexpensive way to try to block COVID. So with this and with additional published study, and I documented many of these studies in the paper I just published this year, and that is this use of statin is a legitimate way to try to inhibit the entry of COVID. So having said that, the advent of people to block COVID taking statin drugs, there will be an astronomical increase of people with muscle problem called SAMs. With the increase of SAM, that is going to be debilitating because we need muscle just to live and to have activity. And this GG is a solution to SAMs caused by statin. And this is going to increase because of the implication that statin is going to help COVID. And I wrote that paper because of that, but I put all of this together. If you can send it to your audience, you'll greatly bless me. And otherwise, if you don't have that paper, let me know. And if the audience want it to be faster, just type my name. I barely write paper. I barely have time, but I didn't do this because my name is in the author. Don't get me wrong. I don't have time. I forced myself to do this because I want the audience to know, and it's published in a very well-respected journal, Frontiers of Physiology. So you type GG or my name, Frontiers of Physiology, and then you'll be able to get that paper readily accessible and free. So I hope I answered that question.
Okay, excellent. Yes, thank you. And I will be sure to link to the paper in the video so that people can find it. In today's demanding world, maintaining energy and a sense of vitality can feel challenging. Prioritizing self-care is crucial for optimizing your performance and well-being across all aspects of life. What can you do to take better care of yourself? Magnesium Breakthrough is an all-natural supplement designed to address the root causes of fatigue and support a holistic approach to health. This unique formula helps to reduce fatigue, improve sleep, and even strengthens muscle and supports your heart and brain health. Unlike traditional magnesium supplements, Magnesium Breakthrough leverages a full-spectrum formula comprising all 7 essential types of magnesium, ensuring optimal absorption and efficacy. Ready to experience the difference? Visit bioptimizers.com/modern and claim your 10% discount with code MODERN10. In addition to the discount, you get gifts of up to 2 travel-sized bottles of Magnesium Breakthrough with each purchase. And it comes with the Bioptimizers 365-day money-back guarantee. You did talk about one trial. So you have had one human trial, which is finished, right? And was published because I read that. And you said it raised testosterone. So all of the things we talked about, CoQ10, muscle protein, and vitamin K are not related to testosterone that I'm aware. So why did it raise testosterone? Do we know?
I don't know the testosterone story mechanism or as well, but I do know this. When I mentioned the Interstate 95, it was absent. I guess I should make it present. Testosterone is a molecule. It is a hormone. It comes from cholesterol. And cholesterol is part of the mevalonic acid pathway. Remember, testosterone is in New York City. So when you decrease that, so after it in New York City, when you make cholesterol, and from cholesterol further down, you make testosterone. So by virtue of a cholesterol drop, when you take statin, so will testosterone. So we gave people GG, and we saw that the testosterone increased, and we find that it did not disturb. Remember, we did not give people directly testosterone. It has all the benefit of increasing testosterone. You know, we have a patch, we have a gel, people take all of this, and sublingual, this and that. We do nothing like that. We just gave them GG, and surprisingly, it does no side effects to any of the men and women who take it. And the only benefit today that we notice is men who are 30 to 49-year-old. That's just the group we study. Doesn't mean that below that age, above that age, it won't work. 30 to 49-year-old, where their testosterone is 700 or less, we found that it increased their testosterone about 20%. So right now we have to figure out what other study we do, and we consider that important because in aging men, their testosterone tend to decrease, and then their muscle tone is dropped, and their energy level is lowered. So we think that there is a place for this. And now that's our interest on this. Hopefully, we would be able to use it GG on the elderly population, men and women, say in the 70s and older. If they increase a small amount of the testosterone in men and women older, then they're able to increase their thrive, their quality of life, and hence their health span.
Excellent. Okay, so just thinking kind of practically, so in the trial, the doses were 150 and 300 milligrams. Just any thoughts if somebody wanted to supplement with GG, how much would be a good number for per day?
I would say that if a person have no other condition and is in the 30s and above, particularly if they're 40 stronger reason, 50 even stronger reason and above, to begin taking 150 milligram. If they are taking statin, then it's obviously they should be taking the GG at least 150 milligram, and then take one that has the ubiquinol in it, the reduced CoQ10. Many companies out there sell it. If you have any question, you go to American River Nutrition website. We don't sell finished product, but we list all the companies that sell our product. If they do, you want to be sure they get the GG from American River. We trade name it. I'm not pushing it. Just if you care about it, we trade name our GG Gold. As in our Tocotrienol, we call Delta Gold, GG Gold, but we don't make finished product. So if you look in the bottle you buy, if they say Delta Gold, the Tocotrienol is from us. If they say GG Gold, then the GG is from us. Very simple. Like that, we promote people to buy because we don't make finished product. And if they make the GG and the ubiquinol from us, we have two names. Sometimes we say dual quinol, two together, or proquinol. You see that? They will say that it's from American River Nutrition. It's all on our website. You can download all the white papers to read from us as well. So I would say 150. If a person is older age and have loss of muscle mass, then probably 300 milligram. As our study in the 300 milligram to increase testosterone. And in a current study, not yet finished, on people with myopathy, one group is 150, the other group is 300. The maximum dose that we encourage people not higher than that would be 400, 450 max, the maximum dose. And hence, we have denomination of 150, and then they do it accordingly. And there are some people, some companies out there selling 300 like that. Why? If there were to be one pitch I would make, why I encourage people to buy from American River. I seldom do this, Richard, but I will do it this time. We make this in Massachusetts. We are the only company in the world making GG. When we discovered this, Delta Gold and GG Gold, my wife actually told me this. Barrie, you have the privilege given from above to discover this when there are millions and millions of things plant-made. And since this compound is potentially so useful to human beings, can you please, my wife said, can you please not use harsh chemical, horrible organic solvent to extract them? Can you do it as simple in physical manner to extract it? I thought, whoa, that's a tall order my wife is giving to me. I did just that. If you were to come to visit our facility, we do not use chemical, we do not use solvent. We use purely physical method to extract them. So it's a challenge to do this. So there will be no chemical, no solvent, no traces of anything found. So if you look at the soft gel, it's beautiful, clear solution like that. And sometimes if it's not clear, it's because people buy our GG and they add other things with it. So that's no problem. Doesn't make it any bad. If you just buy the GG or the Tocotrienol, it's a clear solution with no other chemicals added. So we strongly advise people to do this. And if you have any question, you can always shoot me an email. Is this material coming from you? Somebody in my office here will let you know if that is or not.
Excellent. Thank you. So, Dr. Tan, you have been very generous with your time. So thank you so much for joining us. So American River, we'll link to that. Is there anywhere else where people should go to follow your latest work?
They can follow me through I don't remember the name, and I make sure Jen will show you BarrieTan, Facebook, this and that. I have them, and anytime we have a new study we produce, we list them. We put them on the internet like that. So sometime we saw a published study that is not done by us. Well, this study would be very useful like that. For example, you already heard all of this. This is not to make any curveball like this. Many postmenopausal women have osteoporosis and osteopenia. And the doctor recommend them to take a drug called bisphosphonate. And this bisphosphonate drug is going to trap the calcium in the bone so that to prevent bone loss. All good. One of the side effects of this bisphosphonate is necrosis of the jaw. That means that the jawbone die. And that acronym is BRONJ, Bronx. It's simply acronized bisphosphonate related osteonecrosis of the jaw. They can Google and figure this out. It's very straightforward. And many postmenopausal women take bisphosphonate. When they do this, they say, what is going on? If they take bisphosphonate, they got strong bone, but ironically, they have necrosis of the jaw. They found out the mechanism. The mechanism is so specific and so direct. I cannot not pay attention to this. The bisphosphonate, specifically when you get to the jawbone, it inhibits the jawbone to make its own jawbone because it inhibits the compound GG. And when they inhibit the compound GG, the jawbone is unable to replicate and make its own jawbone, and the jawbone simply dies. I'm actually telling you exactly like what I found. And then, so now we're working with a surgery department in Philadelphia, where when they extract the tooth, you have to put in a cement on, and they douse the cement with a small amount of GG to put on to prevent the jawbone from necrosis. So we are doing that study, and right now that study is being designed. But that professor published an animal study that will soon be published. So if you go to follow me on Facebook, this and that, the moment that is published, I'll post it on, and then people, it's not yet published. I saw the manuscript. It will be very shortly, in the next month or two. So if the audience are postmenopausal women, if you are taking bisphosphonate, you should pay attention. There are other people already published in this area, but we are working with this professor in Philadelphia to do a clinical trial on that. So follow me on Facebook. Anything we found out that is tocotrienol and GG, we try to post it there, whether we publish ourselves or somebody else publish. So we just let people out there know about it. Thank you so much for your kind attention, and thank you for your wonderful audience who listen on. I try to bear my heart out to say what the study show, and if it doesn't, also let people know it's good in this, but not necessarily in all the things that people are looking for. So
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tan.